A very warm welcome to the Nithyananda yoga class today. Please settle down on your mats. Sit in a cross-legged position with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. We start with the Satguru Vandanam, invoking Swamiji's presence. So bring your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart. Take a deep breath. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Yanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamashadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. And then we continue chanting the Shiva Mula mantra 11 times. Om Ham Ham Shivaya Namaha. 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 And then we continue the ritualistic cleansing. For that we use a Panchapatram and an Udarini, a cup with water and a spoon. Now place your hand in the Gokarna Mudra, the index finger bent, and place your palm upwards. Now take an Udarini of water in your hand and sip it from the base of your hand along with the mantra Svada. Atma Tattvam Shauriyami Svada. Take another Udarini of water. Vidya Tattvam Shauriyami Svada. And another Udarini of water. Shiva Tattvam Shauriyami Svada. And clench your hands. Now with the base of your hands, the base of your thumb, we wipe over the lips twice from the right to the left along with the mantra. Om Hridayaya Namaha. Clench the hands. And now with the index finger, middle finger and ring finger, touch your upper lip and lower lip and clench your hand again. And with the index finger and thumb together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. And with the ring finger and thumb together, your right eye, right ear, left ear. And clench your hands. And with the little finger and thumb together, using the whole base of the hand, touch the navel center, the right chest, the left chest, and place all your fingers together, touch the crown of your head, your right shoulder, left shoulder, and the heart center. Now clasp your hands together, rest them on the right thigh. Then we're going to chant the Sankalpa mantra together. Sankalpa means a strong resolution, planting the seed of what you decide to manifest. So you can gently close your eyes and visualize that what you decide to manifest is happening right now. Take a deep breath.
Om Mamopata Samasta Duritakshayadvara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartham Cha Adya Purvokta Evam Guna Visheshena Vishishtayam Asyam Shubharito Purana Arogya Yukta Dhritagatra Yogika Sharira Siddhyartham Paramashiva Shakti Avishkaranartham Nithyananda Yoga Bhyasam Karishye.
Om
Om
Apapashvrija.
Apapashram.
And clench your hand one more time. Now place your Panchapatram somewhere safely on the side where you cannot accidentally tip it over or hurt yourself during the class. All the instructions given during the yoga are meant for educational purposes and the purpose of general well-being. It is not in any way meant as a medical advice or treatment. If you have any ailment or condition, or if you're pregnant, then please consult your medical doctor and adhere to the medical advice that doctor is giving. For everybody here joining in Zoom and online, please at all times listen to the signals of your body, practice within your capacity. Of course, it is perfectly fine to stretch your muscles a bit, but make sure you don't overstretch and you adjust asanas where needed to your capacity. I will also guide you through some different variations for different levels. So with that, let's start with Nithyananda Yoga today. And the first asana is sitting in a cross-leg position, the hands on the knees. And we take one shoulder all the way up towards the ear. We keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of the heat, the digestive fire at the navel center, and hold the breath as long as comfortable. Gaze straight. Then we chant internally the japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself in this asana like a god. Multiple heads radiating wisdom, perception, and mastery in every direction. In Dvitiya
Iskandaha Shiraha Paryantam Nitva Sthathavyam Dvishirsham Bhavati.
And same on the other side.
Iskandaha Shiraha Paryantam Nitva Sthathavyam Dvishirsham Bhavati.
And now for the next asana, sit in a cross-leg position and place your hands on the top of your head. Keep your eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine and maintain awareness of the heat in the navel center. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, as well as the Uddiyana Bandha. Tuck the abdomen inward toward the spine. Gaze at the tip of the nose. Keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Gaze at the tip of your nose. Visualize yourself as an alligator, stealthy, patient, and powerful, gliding through waters of its unwavering focus. In Kumbhirasana.
Nitambe hastayugalam bhumo sankochitaha patet kumbhirasana ma vakshe vayunam dharanaya cha.
And rest your hands on your knees again. Keep your eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply, visualizing heat rising up along the spine and maintain awareness of that heat in the navel center. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize each of your chakras as bright white lights, radiating clarity, purity, and alignment in Chakrasana 2.
Savyoru dakshine gulphe dakshinam dakshine tare nidadhya dri jukayastu chakrasana midam matam tatra chakrasana lakshana maha savyate.
And in the same position, sitting cross-legged with the hands on the knees, keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And perform the Samana Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine and maintain awareness of the heat in the navel center while holding the breath as long as comfortable. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose. Internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And embody in this posture peace, well-being, and good fortune, and prosperity, radiating harmony in thought and word and deed. Swastikasana 2.
जानुर्वोरन्तरे सम्यक् धृत्वा पादतले उभे समकायः सुखासिनः स्वस्तिकं तत्प्रचक्षते.
And now tuck your toes in between the thighs and the calves. So it is also a cross-legged position, but with your toes tucked in. And interlace your fingers in front of your navel in the Parusha Mudra. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of the heat, the digestive fire at the navel center, and hold the breath as long as comfortable. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze straight. And whether I say it or not with each asana, you keep chanting internally Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Embody peace, well-being, good fortune, and prosperity, letting serenity and abundance flow through every action. In Swastikasana Trini.
जानुर्वोरन्तरे कृत्वा योगी पादतले उभे ऋजुकायसमाशिनः स्वस्तिकं तत्प्रकाशते.
And for the next asana, we stay seated in a cross-legged position, placing now one foot on the opposite thigh, the hands on the knees. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Perform the Samana Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of the heat in the navel center while holding the breath as long as comfortable. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose. Continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize and embody the state and space of bravery, fearless and steadfast in face of all challenges. Virasana 2.
अथ मनस्थैर्यकरं वीरासनम् एकस्मिनु संस्थितमेकं पादं चरेत् योगी इतरस्मिन् उरुमीदं वीरासनमिरितं धीरैः.
And now place both feet on the opposite thighs in Padmasana. Take the big toes, cross your arms behind your back, and then take the opposite toes into Parana Mudra. Parana Mudra means the index finger and middle finger around the toe, closing it with your thumb. And you can see and perform it wherever you are, what your level is. That means if you're not able to sit in Padmasana, then sit cross-legged and cross your arms behind your back. If you are able to sit in Padmasana and you can maybe reach one toe with your hands and take it in Prana Mudra, or you can reach both toes, practice it at your level. Keep in this asana all three bandhas engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, the abdomen inward and up, and the chin to the chest. Gaze at the tip of the nose and internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as Shiva's bow, the sacred karmic alignment charged with divine energy and readiness. Karmukasana Trini.
कार्मुकासनमाकृत्य उद्रे पुरयेत् सुखं तदा वायुर्वशो याति कालेन सूक्ष्मवायुना.
And in the same position, with the toes in Prana Mudra, arms behind your back, we perform the Kakanchuka Kumbhaka. That means curl the tongue inward within the mouth and then extend it slightly outward to form a small passage for inhalation. Inhale through this opening and retain the breath after drawing it in. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and gaze up at the third eye. Visualize yourself as the unstoppable conscious energy of Paramashiva's third eye, radiating fierce awareness and divine intelligence in Tridasana.
उरुभ्यामुपरि स्थाप्य पादयुग्मं प्रयत्नतः दक्षिणं सव्यदेशे च सव्यं दक्षिणदेशके.
And now in the same position with the arms crossed behind the back and your toes in Prana Mudra, come laying down on the back. So slowly lower your upper body down. Place your crown on your head, on the mat. Keep breathing through the tube of the tongue in Kakanchuka Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize yourself as a snake coiling with precision, alert to every subtle movement around you in Nagrasana.
प्रथम पद्म आसन कुंठाने दो हाथ पाछाने आने पाद अंगूठा पकड़े आनी सोवे कहुन्या कुलिया पानी.
And remain laying down on the floor. And hold the feet and tuck the knees to the chest. Cross your arms around your knees as without Padmasana. Yes. Keep your eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again in the Sahaja Kumbhaka. The pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight. Internally chant I Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself as a perfect sphere, steady and balanced in all directions in Kandukasana.
वेत्रासने स्थित्वा हस्तपादान् निष्कासय मूर्ध्वं नयेत् पृष्ठवंशेन भूमिं स्पृशेत् कन्दुकासनं भवति.
And in the next asana, lay flat on your back, your feet flat and your knees up. And place your hands on your feet flat and your knees up, yes. And your arms underneath your head. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And in the Sahaja Kumbhaka, we inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again. We keep the muscles of the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize yourself as the rising wind flowing upward with unstoppable force in Urdhva Pavanasana.
प्रथमे सूधोसैन करावे गोदा उभा राखी मिलावे गुल्फ मामहिला गुष्ठ दोई करे एक सा मिलर सोई.
And in the next asana, stretch your hands out towards your heels. And then push on the mat, you stretch your hand to your heels and then push your hips up towards the sky. We perform in this asana the Murja Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose and then lock the chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha. Keep also the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted. And gaze straight, visualize yourself as a monkey, agile, playful and perceptive. In Markata Pita Asana.
उत्तान शयनं पादतले उत्तान हस्तयोः स्थापयेत् पृष्ठभागम् उन्नमयेत् मर्कटा पीठं भवति.
And now you support your hips towards the ceiling. Plant your elbows on the ground and your hands under your hips to push them little up. And step your feet a little bit away from the body. Continue with the Murcha Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose and keep the chin to the chest. The Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize yourself as an upward rising peacock. Chest lifted and feathers radiant in vibrant display. In Uttana Sika Pitakasana.
Jangho rubala hinaschet uttana shikipitakam apramatah prakurvita bhuktehe pragvijitendriyaha.
And lower the hips down onto the floor. Then we're gonna bring the body into an inverted posture, leaning on the shoulders and placing the hands on the back for extra support. Stretch your legs all the way out towards the ceiling. Your legs all the way up, toes pointing towards the ceiling. Inhale deeply through the nose and lock the chin to the chest in Murcha Kumbhaka. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, gaze straight, and visualize yourself as a guardian of the underworld, standing firm in the hellish spaces of the mind. See your awareness illuminating darkness and suffering, embodying courage, endurance, and the power to face and transform fear. In Narakasana.
Grivakanthena bhumim vishtambha padagradvayam urdvam unnayet narakasanam bhavati.
And in the next asana,
Now in the next asana, which is Turiyan Nokasana, you stay in the same position except that you bend your legs slightly at a 45-degree angle. And continue with the Murcha Kumbhaka, lock your chin to your chest, and the Shambhavi Mudra, the Jalandhara Bandha, tuck your chin to your chest and gaze straight. And visualize yourself as a sideways boat, steady despite shifting currents. See your awareness navigating turbulence with poise, embodying balance, adaptability, and the power to remain centered amidst uncertainty.
yes, and it is naturally if you are in an inverted posture like this, you either keep your legs straight or that way. But in this posture, we're gonna move it that way. So as much away from the head, so to say, as possible. Support your back good with your hands, and then hold a strong core.
Turiyan Nokasana. Nokavatstitva tuva pada gradvayam nayettiryak nokasanam bhavati.
And now in the same position, stretch the hands all the way out, the legs as straight as possible. Strong core.
This is Dvajasana. And continue to tuck your chin to your chest in Jalandhara Bandha and visualize yourself as the flag of Kailasa waving proudly atop the world. See your awareness radiating the achievements of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, embodying sovereignty, enlightenment, and the unyielding presence of a divine nation, inspiring devotion, courage, and awakened consciousness across all beings. Dvajasana. तिर्यक् नौकावत् ग्रीवा पृष्ठ कुर्परैः भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य मस्तकलक्षेण पादाग्रद्वयम् ऊर्ध्व नयेत् ध्वजासनं भवति.
And support your back, lower your feet down again, and come into a seated position with the soles of your feet together. Let your knees come down to the floor and be wide. Keep the pelvic floor contracted. Continue internally chanting the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Perform the Samana Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of the heat in the navel center and hold the breath as long as comfortable. In this position, we also bring the chin to the chest in the Jalandhara Bandha and gaze at the tip of the nose. Unclutch from all ego-fulfilling successes in your life, releasing attachments to transient achievements. In Siddhi, Haratali Asana.
पगथाली संपुट करी अंगुलिया को संपुट करे माहिली कोर राखे दो हाथ को काकसी करी.
Now remain seated upright, bringing the soles of the feet together close to the pelvis. Hold the feet with both hands and allow the knees to open as much as possible outward. Keep the spine long, the chest broad, the shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And visualize the heat while inhaling deeply in the Samana Kumbhaka. Then maintain the awareness of the heat at the navel center and hold the breath as long as comfortable. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, and the Uddiyana Bandha as well. Draw the abdomen inward toward the spine. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize your seat as auspicious foundation, spreading blessings in all directions. In Bhadrasana Trini.
अथ भद्रासनं गुल्फौ च वृषणस्यादः शिवन्याः पार्श्वयोः शिपेत् सव्यगुल्फे तथा सव्ये दक्षिणगुल्फे तु दक्षिणे.
And with this, we come with the 20th asana of this sequence. We're going to do 100 asanas today. And we love to hear from you in the comments if you are joining us online and practicing along. We love to hear what your experience is, how you are experiencing doing these sequence of asanas, what your level is. And if you have any questions as well, so please post that in the comments under the live stream so that we get in touch with you. Now let's go the knees up, the ankles crossed, and bring the hands with the palms open, resting on your knees. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of the heat in the navel center and hold the breath as long as comfortable. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose. Visualize Narasimha, one of the 10 avatars of Vishnu, fierce and protective, embodying divine courage and unstoppable power. Yoga Nrsimhasana.
Yoga Narsimhasana. मायूरम्पिञ्च मायूरं पद्मपीठसमन्वितं कोकुटं गर्भपिण्डं च कूर्मयोगनृसिंहकम्.
Now place the palms onto the knees with the palms facing downwards. Sit tall with the chest lifted, the shoulders relaxed and away from the ears, and gaze fixed steady at the nose line. Inhale deeply, visualize heat rising up along the spine in the Samana Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize a flock of crows, agile, alert and perceptive. in Kakarupa Skandasana.
अथा व्यक्षे काकरूपस्कन्धासन मुत्तमं कलिपापात् प्रमुच्येत वायविं वशमानयेत् निजपादद्वयं बद्धवा स्कन्धदेशे च साधक नित्यमेतत्पादद्वयं भूमौ पुष्टिकरद्वयम्.
And in the next posture, we place the feet next to each other, uncross the ankles, and then bring the arms underneath the knees. Gaze steadily at the nose, keep the chest lifted, the spine straight, relax the shoulders. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. And then we start here in this asana with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Slightly contract the throat and draw the breath slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of the ocean. And retain the breath within. And then release slowly through the nostrils, preserving the same soft sound. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze at the tip of the nose, and keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And sit in the space of Upanishad with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, merging into eternal consciousness. See your mind illuminated by timeless truth, embodying clarity, self-realization, and the unbroken presence of Guru and the cosmic wisdom within, aligning with the deepest currents of Advaita in Utkatikasana.
श्लिष्टगुल्फे श्लिष्टगुल्फो भूमिष्टरो प्रसारयेत् यत्रोपविश्य तत् दण्डासनम् उदीरितम्.
And in the next asana, stretch out your legs. Keep them alongside the mat, stretched all the way out, the spine straight, the hands on the thighs. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. And continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. That means making the sound of the ocean with the breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted, gaze at the tip of the nose. And continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as Paramashiva's Yoga Danda, steady, unyielding, and radiant with inner power. In Dandasana 2.
श्लिष्टगुल्फे श्लिष्टगुल्फो भूमिष्टरो प्रसारयेत् यत्रोपविश्य तत् दण्डासनम् उदीरितम्.
And on the inhale, bring the arms all the way up. On the exhale, bend forward from the hips. Take the toes in Prana Mudra. If you can reach, take the toes in Prana Mudra and bring your nose towards your knees. If you don't reach all the way, then take your ankles or your shins or your knees in your hands, wherever you are. But make sure that you bend from the hip and not arch your back only. Keep your spine straight and elongated. Keep making the sound of the ocean in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and tuck the abdomen inward and toward the spine in the Uddiyana Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize a tank of water as you engage the Uddiyana Bandha, still and contained yet alive with motion. Tadaka Mudra Asana.
सभा शीर्ष सर्वांग महामुद्रा च तातगी बद्ध कोणं बद्ध पद्मं दण्डं पश्चिमतानकम्.
And in the next asana, we keep the legs extended, place the hands outside the hips on the mat, and then push the body up from the floor one variation is to keep your heels on the floor and push the rest of the body up. Another variation is, if you have a strong core, push not only the body up but also the feet simultaneously, so that you are resting only on your hands. And then rock your body from side to side. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Perform the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, gaze straight, and visualize yourself as a cradle, rocking from side to side, gentle and precise. Prankasana.
प्रेक्षावत् स्थित्वा पादाग्रे मस्तके परिणित्वा पृष्ठभागे भूमौ निधाय तिष्ठेत्.
And in the next asana, you're going to bring the legs up higher. You can help each other or take the help of the wall. Push your hips from the floor, and then you're going to cradle back and forth.
And here you will also be performing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. So slightly contract the throat and draw the breath slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of the ocean. Retain the breath within, then release slowly through the nostrils, preserving the same soft sound. Lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze at your nose. Continue to chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham internally and visualize yourself as a cradle, rocking back and forth, responsive and secure. See your awareness flowing with each gentle motion, embodying patience, stability, and the gentle power of being carried, supported, and held by the cosmic rhythm of existence. Prankhasana dve. प्रेक्षावत् स्थित्वा पादाग्रे मस्तके परिणित्वा पृष्ठभागे भूमौ निधाय तिष्ठेत्.
And relax the legs down onto the floor. Bring the feet flat and the knees up. The arms crossed around the knees. Perform the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with the breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the third eye. Continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And experience Advaita, oneness, with the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, dissolving distinctions between self, guru, and the cosmos. See consciousness merging into infinite, timeless awareness, embodying the eternal presence, undivided truth, and unshakable unity of the highest reality. In Yogasana Trini.
पृष्ठे भेदान्वितं पादं तस्य हस्तेन बन्धयेत् अथ योगासनं वक्ष्ये यत्कृत्वा योगिराद् भवेत्.
And now stack the knees on top of each other, bringing the feet outside the hips and the hands on the opposite knees. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And now we're gonna perform another pranayama, another breathing pattern called the Sitkari Kumbhaka. Gently press the tongue against the upper palate with the tip behind the front teeth and slowly inhale through the teeth to create a hissing sound. Then hold your breath and calmly exhale through the nostrils. And keep repeating this. Keep the pelvic floor contracted, gaze at the tip of the nose, and continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Experience the energy of a temple inside you, sacred, radiant, and alive. In Vrishapati Asana.
जीमना गोद अग्र करी दावो पग जीमनी पशति पाशति आनी मोदी येदी कूला नीचे राखी.
And rest the palms in your lap with the thumbs together and upwards. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And continue the Sit Kari Kumbhaka. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted. Gaze at the tip of the third eye. Visualize the purifying effects of Durva grass happening on your being, cleansing and harmonizing the body, mind, and energy. Durvasa Asana.
Dai janga pari kari jimano pagadai pashati ani phanado dharati teki barala gulbha kula ki barili kani lagave.
And in the next asana, we interlace the fingers, place them on the top knee in Parusha Mudra. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And continue with the Sit Kari Kumbhaka. Keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and continue internally chanting Nitya Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize all gods and goddesses pleased with you, radiating blessings and divine favor. Sukha Devasana.
Vama jangha arupithe mahe dachana pithe dare sutahe ana vama goda mahile rakhe dachi goda agramile.
And in the next asana, take both toes in Prana Mudra. That means the middle finger and thumb, the middle finger and index finger around the toe, and then closing it with the thumb. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. Continue the Sit Kari Kumbhaka, making the hissing sound with the breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and gaze in this posture up to the third eye. Visualize yourself as Datta Digambara, embodying boundless renunciation and spiritual freedom in Datta Digambara Asana.
Prathama jivano pava uchave dai jangha upari karilyave dai pakhati tako ane godam upara talakari thane.
And in the next asana, keep holding on to your toes and from the hips bend forwards on the exhale, bringing your chin over the knee. And continue with the Sit Kari Kumbhaka, making the hissing sound with the breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and gaze at the tip of the nose. Visualize yourself as a fish moving effortlessly underwater, your body thriving with oxygen, drawing energy from the currents and the subtle waters themselves. In Machandrasana Trini.
Jimano pagadai jangha pari rakhe yedi kari lagave davaya ko baralo gulphav. Jimana Gidaki Mahili Akhya Pari Rakhe.
And come up with the upper body. Now take one hand behind the back over your head and one underneath so that you can reach your fingers, interlace them behind your back if you're reaching all the way. If you're not reaching all the way, you can grab some cloth and hold it on both sides. Continue with the Sitkari Kumbhaka, making the hissing sound with the breath. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and gaze at the tip of the nose, internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself as the face of a cow, gentle, nurturing, and serene, in Gomakasana 2.
उत्तानकुर्मपीठं च सिंहं गारुडमेव च वातायनं गोमुखं च भारद्वाजं त्रिविक्रमम्.
And relax the hands down. Place them on the opposite knees. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. Continue performing the Sitkari Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and experience the energy of a temple inside you, sacred and alive, in Vrishapati Asana.
जीमना गोदो अग्रकरी दावो पग जीमनी पाशति आनी मोदी येदी कूला निचय राखी.
I think I forgot to say actually that we should shift to the other side. We're doing the same series of asanas on the other side, so bring your other knee as the top knee, the feet towards the hips outside. And for this second asana, interlace your fingers, bring them in front of your navel center in the Parusha Mudra. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, and continue with the Sitkari Kumbhaka, making the hissing sound with your breath. Gaze at the tip of your nose. Continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize the purifying effects of Durvagras happening on your being, subtle yet profound. In Durvasana.
दाई जांघ परी करी जी मनो पग दाई पाशति आनी फना दो धरती ते की बारला गुल्भ कुला की बारिली कानी लगावे.
And now take your hands in Parusha Mudra, the fingers interlaced on the top knee. Sit with your chest lifted and your shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Continue with the Sitkari Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize all gods and goddesses pleased with you, showering blessings of protection, insight, and favor. In Sukadeva Asana.
वाम जंघ अरुपीठे माहे दचन पीठे धरै सूता है आन वाम गोदा माहिले राखे दच्छी गोदा अग्र मिले.
And now take your big toes in Prana Mudra. That means the index finger and middle finger around your toe. Continue the Sitkari Kumbhaka and keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha while we gaze at the third eye. Shiva has blessed you to move beyond all material needs and desires. In Datta Digambara Asana.
प्रथम जीवनो पाव उचावे दाई जंघ उपरी करी लियावे दाई पाखती ताको आने गोदाम उपरतला करी थने.
And now on the exhale, bend forward from the hips and place your chin over the knee, holding on to your toes. Continuing the Sitkari Kumbhaka and keeping the Mula Bandha engaged, gaze at the tip of your nose and visualize yourself as a fish moving effortlessly underwater, your body thriving without oxygen, drawing energy from the currents and subtle waters themselves. In Machandrasana Trini.
जीमनोपग दाई जंघ परी राखे येरी करी लगावे दावाय को बारलो गुल्फ Jimana, Gidaki, Mahili, Ka, Akia, Parirake.
And now we come up and cross the fingers behind the back. The other arm this time over the head, bending backwards. And as I said, if you cannot all the way reach your fingers together, then hold the cloth in between on both sides. Continue the Sitkari Kumbhaka. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, and gaze at the tip of the nose. Visualize yourself as the face of a cow, gentle, nurturing, and serene. In Gomukhasana Dve.
Tana Kurmapitham cha Simham Garudameva cha Vatayanam Gomukham cha Bharadwajam Trivikramam.
And now place your both feet in front of the perineum, one knee up, the other knee down on the mat, and cross your arms over your one knee. Keep the knee in your elbow. Then we're going to perform here another pranayama, the Rechaka Kumbhaka, and that means to exhale fully and then hold the breath out for as long as comfortable while remaining steady and aware. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize and control the outgoing breath, refined and intentional. Invama Shvasa Gamanasana.
Jamanum Paganum Dimchana Jamane Hathani Kakali Mam Rakhi Tebani Baradai Dabe Paga Dimchanati Vali.
And now for the next asana, come sitting on your knees. The heels with the sit kneeling on the heels with the torso upright. Fold both legs. Rest the hands on the thighs, the shoulders down away from the ears, the chest lifted and the spine tall. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. Exhale fully and hold the breath out while remaining steady and aware in the Rechaka Kumbhaka, and keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose, visualize and embody the state of a space of bravery, standing firm in the face of challenges. In Dvirasana.
Bane Paga Gotanati Vari Valine Tena Panu Gurani Niche Aral Rakine Besavumte Dhirasana Kahe Vayache.
Okay, and for the next asana, we sit on one foot, bring the other foot flat on the ground with the knee up, and hold the hands on the respective knees. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Remain the Rechaka Kumbhaka, that means exhale fully and hold the breath out while remaining steady and aware. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze up to the third eye, and keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize and embody the state of a space of bravery, poised and unshaken, in Dakshina Pada Dvirasana.
Banne Paga Gotha Nathi Varine Tena Panu Gurani Niche Ara Rakhine Besavumte Dhirasana Kahe Vayache.
And now bring the foot in front of the perineum, one knee on the floor, the other knee up, and then cross the arms around the knee, keeping it in the elbow. We do this now on the other side than that we did earlier in Dakshina Shvasagamanasana Dve.
Jamanum Paganum Dimchana Jamane Hatane Kakali Mam Rakhi Tebhani Bharadai dabe paga dimchanati vali.
And now we sit kneeling on the one foot. Have the hands on the respective knees. Keep the torso upright, the chest lifted, the shoulders softened away from the ears. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And exhale, fully hold the breath out while remaining steady and aware in the Rechaka Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze up at the third eye. And embody the state and space of bravery, grounded and aware in Vamapada Dvirasana.
Jabanum paganum dhimchana jamane hatani kakali mam rakhi tebhani baradai dabe paga dimchanati vali.
And now we have one foot flat on the ground with the knee up. Oh, both feet flat on the ground with the knees up, and twist your body with your arms, one around the back and one around your knees, trying to reach each other. If you can reach all the way, then clasp the hands, and otherwise you can hold a piece of cloth on both ends in between or reach wherever you are. Exhale fully and hold the breath out while remaining steady and aware in the Rechaka Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted and gaze up to the third eye. Visualize yourself bound by the noose of integrity, emotions aligned to purpose in Paschasana.
Pada tale bhumo nidhaya januni urasi nidhaya viparita hastabhyam uru sahita jamghe nibaddha tishtet pashasanam bhavati.
And now we do the Paschasana on the other side. So switch to the other side and hold around your knees.
Padatale bhumo nidhaya januni urasi nidhaya viparita hastabhyam uru sahita jamghe nibaddha tishtet pashasanam bhavati.
And relax, come sitting on your knees, the toes tucked under comfortably. Rest your knees wide. Place your knees wide on the mat and rest your palms lightly on your knees. Straighten your spine, lift through the crown of your head, and relax your shoulders away from the ears. Let your gaze settle softly towards your nose. Breathe evenly. Perform here the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably and then release through the nose again. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, gaze at the tip of the nose, and visualize yourself embodying Simha Rupaksha with the majestic form and keen vision of a lion in Simha Rupakshasana.
Sphivantim gulpha deshabhyo nipidya vyukramena tu prasarya janunurhasta vasanam simharupakam.
And in the same position, we inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and release through the nose again, keeping the pelvic floor contracted. Gaze at the tip of your nose. Continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize sitting in the sacred space of the Upanishad with the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, merging into timeless wisdom and cosmic consciousness in Guptasana.
जानुर्वोरन्तरे पादौ कृत्वा पादौ च गोपयेत् पादौ परि च संस्थाप्य गुदं गुप्तासनं विदुः.
And now we come up to a standing position. One hand is alongside the body downwards. The other hand is touching the middle finger and the thumb together, and place them on the crown of your head. Slightly contract the throat and draw the breath slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of the ocean. And then retain the breath within and release slowly through the nostrils, preserving the same soft sound in Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and visualize the supreme point of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivan's blessings, blessing you on the top of your head. Dikshasana.
प्रशकिरी रदः स्थित्वा पञ्चमुष्टिमुत्पातयेत् तदेवासनं दीक्षाया स्तेनामुपलभ्यते.
And come sitting down on the knees. This is a dynamic asana. We clasp the opposite arms and then bring the knees are hip width apart, and then bring the feet up towards your buttocks and back to the ground again. And keep doing this. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and release through the nose again in the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, and gaze straight. Visualize yourself as a deer, alert and graceful, sensing the slightest movement around you. Harinasana.
उद्दानं कृत्वा पार्ष्णिभ्यां नितम्बं हरिणासनं भवति.
And now come sitting. And from a sitting position, bring your knees over your shoulders on both sides and place your hands on the mat. Keep your spine strong and your chest forward and gaze steady. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose again in the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize your legs as a flower garland, suspended and delicately and gracefully. Malasana.
हस्ताभ्यामवनिं स्पृष्ट्वा स्कन्धयोर्जानुनी संस्थाप्य पार्ष्णिम् उरसि निधाय तिष्ठत् मालासनं भवति.
And the next asana is an inverted posture where we bring the crown of the head onto the floor and both hands as well. So first place yourself in the starting position, then move your hips up, walk your feet towards your body, and bring your legs up off the ground, stretching the toes all the way out towards the ceiling. Keep your eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted. Gaze straight and visualize yourself as a perfect human, embodying strength and softness, effort and surrender in Narasana.
इति योगासनस्थश्च योगी भवति साधकः नरासनं यः करोति स सिद्धो नात्र संशयः.
And now remain in the same position with your legs up. Maybe you can turn around. Turn around. I'll help you with the next asana, because the next asana means you take both of your hands off the ground. leaning fully on your head. So practice this carefully, know what your body can do. You can use the help of the wall.
And in this asana, continue with the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, then release through the nose. Engage your perineum in the Mula Bandha and gaze forward. Visualize Paramashiva encompassing you, keeping you stable and centered. See divine presence holding awareness steady, embodying unshakable support, alignment, and the stabilizing grace of cosmic consciousness. This is
And the clue is to get your hands off the ground and make them go alongside your body up.
Adho Mundasana. Iti yogasanasthascha yogi bhavati sadhakaha narasanam yaha karoti sa siddho natra samshayaha.
Wonderful. And lower the legs slowly down onto the mat. Then we're gonna do the next asana, which is laying down or sitting on the knees with the toes tucked under, bending from the hips forward while we interlace the fingers together and bring them on one side of the body. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, in the pelvic floor contracted, gaze straight, and inhale deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again in the Sahaja Kumbhaka. And visualize your body softly being purified, every cell and fiber absorbing and cleansing energy. Midaki Pavasana 2.
Asana ko gula may baya jai.
And now we switch to the other side. In Sanskrit, we call that Parshvantare, to do Midaki Pavasana 2 on the other side.
Asana ko gula may baya jai.
And now get the upper body up, untuck your toes, come sitting with a lifted chest and long spine in beside your heels, with your hands resting on your thighs. Keep the eyes open and steady gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again in the Sahaja Kumbhaka. We're going to contract engage two bandhas, the Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor contracted, and the Uddiyana Bandha. Tuck the abdomen inward toward the spine. Gaze at the tip of the nose and visualize and embody the state of space and bravery in Virasana Trini.
Danda Padma Bharadwaja Veera Vajra Samanitu Asana Nani Sada Kuryat Sudirgaihi Rechapura Kaihi.
Okay, and then two inverted postures. I'll help you with this one. Also, the first one, you bring your hands and elbows onto the mat. So first like this, you forming a strong base, and then bring your hips up and your legs, and bend the knees with the feet towards the head.
And in this asana, continue with the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, then release through the nose. The Shambhavi Mudra, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward, and visualize yourself as a hawk, eyes keen and wings poised. See awareness soaring, precision and focus guiding every movement, embodying vigilance, speed, discernment, and the commanding presence of the hunter in perfect alignment with the sky. This is Shenasana. Vipari tanritye cha sthito nasika bhumo samsprishya urdvam nitva punah samsprishet Shenasanam bhavati.
And then the next asana is similar to this one, where we also use the hands and the elbows as a strong base and stretch out the legs instead of pointing the toes towards the head.
And again, in this asana, continue with the Sahaja Kumbhaka, the Shambhavi Mudra, lock your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze forward.
Arch the back.
And now visualize yourself as a peacock, feathers fanned and radiant, displaying beauty and majesty. See awareness reflecting elegance, pride, and the harmonious balance of grace and strength, embodying vibrant presence and the ability to captivate and inspire all around you. In Pincha Mayurasana, Mayuram Pincha Mayuram Padmapita Samanvitam Kokukam Kokutam Garbhapindam Cha Kurmam Yogi Nrishim Hakam.
And lower the legs down. Bring the body in an upright position again, sitting on the toes with the knees up off the ground and the fists in front of you, the hands in fists in front of you. Just adjust whatever is needed, coming back into an upright position. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose again in the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze at the tip of the nose, and visualize yourself milking a cow, hands steady and gentle. In Godo Hikasana.
Slishta Tarkuli Slishta Gulpo Bhomo Slishtoru Prasarayet Yatro Pavishya Pado Tadandasanam Udaritam.
And come up standing, all the way on your toes with your hands stretched out towards the ceiling. Make your whole body long. Perform the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze up to the third eye, and keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself as a camel enduring harsh conditions with calm resilience in Ustrasana Trini.
Padan Gulyabhyam Bhumim Dritva Bahu Urdhvi Kritya Tishtet Ushtrasanam Bhavati.
And in the same position, come down on your flat feet, but keep your hands all the way up towards the ceiling. In Anjani Mudra, bring the palms together. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted and the gaze straight. Visualize yourself as a mountain, rooted deeply and standing stable for thousands of years in Tadasana Dve.
Mahamudra Baddha Konasanam Tadasanam Vibhe Dakam Uttanasanam Sada Kuryat Bhakti Purvam Priya Priya.
And stand with your feet firmly on the ground. Have the arms lifted upwards, but the palms open towards the ceiling. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Engage at the third eye. Visualize yourself as a tall, unwavering palm tree, symbolizing Rama's skill of strength and victory. In Talasana.
Behata Umcha Karine Panja Pahola Rakhine Ubha Rahe Vamte Tadasana Talasana Kahe Vayache.
And standing with your legs hip width apart, stretch out your hands all the way sideways and start making little rounds with your arms. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Excuse me. Gaze straight. Continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself as a potter's wheel, spinning with steady balance and centered awareness. In Kulala Chakrasana.
हस्तो प्रसार्य ब्रह्मणं कर्तव्यं कूलाल चक्रासनं भवति.
And in a standing position, cross your arms in front of your chest, keeping your opposite arms in your hands. Sahaja Kumbhaka, inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose and continue internally. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. In your throat center, and visualize yourself rising gently with the tip of your feet rooted to the earth. Panchasana.
चरणस्याग्रभागेन उत्तिष्ठेत् भुवस्थले मुनिः कृत्वा हस्तपरिवेष्टिं सिद्धं सेवेत सिद्धयेत्.
And now stand tall. Plant one foot very firmly on the ground, the other foot against the thigh, the knee pointing sidewards, and the hands are along the body downwards. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And perform in this asana the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Slightly contract the throat and draw the breath in through the nostrils, producing the sound of the ocean. Then retain the breath within and release slowly through the nostrils again, preserving the same soft sound. Firmly contract the muscles of the pelvic floor. In the Mula Bandha, gaze straight and visualize the moon in your inner space, radiant and serene, in Ardha Chandrasana.
एकेन पादेन भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य अन्यपादतलेन उरु अवष्टभ्य तिष्ठेत् अष्ट इति पुनः पुनः कर्तव्यम् अर्धचन्द्रं भवति.
And now pick up your foot and bring it onto your opposite hip. Hold it with both hands. And lower slightly into a squat and then rise back up, repeating the movement smoothly. Keep switching sides, moving with control and rhythm. Keep the chest lifted, gaze forward, and keep the breath calm in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean while keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze straight and visualize yourself as an arrow to Shiva's bow, taut with potential, precise in intent. In Shankvasana.
तिष्ठन् सम्पार्ष्णिना इतर जङ्घन प्रदेशे सम्पीड्य स्थातव्यम् उत्थित वयम् इति पुनः पुनः कर्तव्यं शङ्खासनं भवति.
And now keep your both feet onto the floor, the legs hip width apart. One arm all the way up. The other arm stays alongside the body downwards. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. Continue the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath, and keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze straight, visualize yourself as a palm tree, resilient in storms, rooted deep yet flexible in the wind. Ardha Talasana.
बेहात ऊंचा करीने पंजपहोला राखिने उभा रहेवं ते तालासना कहवाय छे.
And place one foot firmly stepping to the front of the mat while the other remains backwards. Now bend through the hips to make the front knee into a 90-degree angle and stretch out the arms all the way, one in the front and one in the back. Perform the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath, keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself as Lord Virabhadra, fierce and powerful embodiment of righteous anger and divine action. In Virabhadrasana 2.
वासिष्ठम् अथ कौन्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुकुटमेव च अष्टावक्रम् अथ उत्तानमयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
And now take your right hand and bring it all the way over your head while you bring your left hand downwards, stretching the whole right part of the body. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in Shambhavi Mudra. Continue making the sound of the ocean with your breath in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted and gaze upwards. Visualize yourself in side angle, extending and opening with grace in Parshvakonasana.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियधार्ध्याय कोनभेदान् समाह्यसेत्.
And now keep the legs in the same position, but switch the body to the other side, bringing your right hand towards your foot and the left hand all the way up to the sky. And look backwards over your shoulder, following the right hand towards the ceiling. Continue the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the muscles of the pelvic floor contracted. Gaze upwards and visualize yourself in revolved angle, twisting and opening with clarity. In Parivriti Trikonasana.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियधार्ध्याय कोनभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
And now bring your legs together. Now plant the left leg very firmly on the ground. Stretch the right leg all the way out. Bend the body forward so that your leg is parallel to the ground. And make your arms stretched out forwards, also parallel to the ground. Continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze downward, and visualize yourself as a fierce warrior. Virabhadrasana Trini.
वासिष्ठम् अथ कौन्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुकुटमेव च अष्टावक्रम् अथ उत्तानमयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
And now nicely swing your feet forward and have it all the way parallel to the ground in front of you. You can, if you have trouble keeping it up, also use the wall and keep your foot up towards the wall. Or if you practice with several people together, you can hold each other's foot upwards. Your arms are hanging downwards along your body. Continue the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and gaze at the tip of your nose. Visualize yourself as standing on one left foot, balanced and aware. Vamapadasana.
जीमने पग पूर्व भनी जीमने आपनु मा होय ते बनी बाबो करी दाबे पगे उभा रहेवं ते वाम पादासन कहे वायचे.
And bring your foot to the opposite thigh. The hands in Anjani Mudra in front of the heart. Continue with the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged, the pelvic floor contracted, and gaze straight. Visualize yourself in mindful pose, tree pose, rooted like a deep tree. Mantantara Vrikshasana.
Matantara Vrikshasana. Ardhva Vrikshasana e aasa nane avantara bhedache bamne paga bhim chanati vali matum bhumithi te kavi.
And now in the next asana, place your foot on your opposite thigh, bend your knee, and then bend forward till your little fingers touch the ground gently. Don't put all your weight on your little fingers, just touch them to the ground. Holding a strong core and strong leg. Continuing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, producing the sound of the ocean with your breath, keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and gaze towards the nose. Visualize yourself embodying desire, focused and intentional in Kamasana.
Nitambe cha pada goshti hastabhyam anguliyakam atha kamasanam vakshe kama sangena hetuna.
And now with your hand, relax for a moment, shake your legs out. Any tension removed. Then bring your foot back onto your other opposite thigh and hold your foot with your hand on your knee and your other hand on the ankle. Bend through your knee. Lower your hips until your thigh is leveled with the ground, like sitting on an invisible chair. Perform the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted and gaze at the tip of the nose. And visualize yourself as an airplane in flight, wings steady and soaring in Vimanasana.
Ekam padam bhumo nidhaya nitambam janu pradeshe aniya dvitiyam padam januni nidhaya tishtet vimanasanam bhavati.
And shake out your legs for a moment. Then we do the same on the other side, placing the foot on the opposite thigh, the hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of the heart. Perform the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath. And keep the muscles of the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose. And visualize yourself as a half foot, grounded yet elevated, poised for movement. Ardha Padasana.
Ubha rahine daba pagane phana jamana pagana dimchanana uttarana dabe bhagamam adari rakhave.
And now take your foot in both hands and stretch all the way up towards the ceiling. Standing on one leg very firmly on the ground. Help to keep your balance by gazing at a fixed point in front of you and see where your capacity is of the body at the moment. How far can you get your foot up? Continue the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Keeping the pelvic floor contracted. And as Nityananda is showing, you can also use the help of the wall for some support. Gaze straight and continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, radiating cosmic consciousness. In Uttita Trivikramasana.
Uttana kurma pitham cha simham garudam eva cha vatayanam gomukham cha bharadhvajam trivikramam.
And now we're going to do a few challenging asanas. See wherever you can get. You take your foot behind you and stretch your hands, both arms, if you can, over your head, reaching your foot. So this means a back bend where you keep one leg all the way up. Keep your eyes open and steady gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. Make the sound of the ocean with your breath in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and visualize yourself as Lord Nataraja dancing in cosmic rhythm in Natarajasana Dve.
शलभासनभेदाश्च नतभेरुन्दनामके गन्धभेरुन्दसहिते शीर्षदन्दासनं तथा.
And bring both legs again onto the floor. Come standing tall with the hands stretched out alongside the body. Perform the Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Make the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the eyes open and steady gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in the Shambhavi Mudra. And the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose. And visualize Swamiji, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, merging with your awareness. Puna Padasana.
उभा रहिने दाबा पगने फना जमना पगना दिमचनना उत्तराना दाबे भागमाम adari राघवे.
Now we're going to do asanas that we did earlier on the other side. Stretch out one arm all the way up towards the ceiling in Ardha Talasana.
बे हाथ ऊंचा करीने पंजा पहोला राखिने उभा रहे वमते तारा सन तालासन कहे वायचे.
And step one foot forward on the mat while the other one remains backwards. Stretch out the hands, one in front and one to the back, and lower your hips down as much as possible to make your front knee go into a 90-degree angle. In Virabhadrasana Parshvantare.
वाशिष्ठम् अथ कौन्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुकुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमथ उत्तानमयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Now bring your left hand all the way over your head and your right hand onto the ground next to your foot. Stretch out the whole left side of the body in Parshva Konasana Parshvantare.
सप्त चक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियधार्ध्याय कोनभेदान् समह्यसेत्.
And now remain the feet in the same position. Twist the body all the way to the other side, bringing your left hand on the ground and your right hand all the way up, opening the body to the other side. In Parivriti Trikonasana Parshvantare.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियधार्ध्याय कोनभेदान् समह्यसेत्.
And come up, bring your legs together. Now plant the right leg firmly on the ground and bring your left leg stretched backwards, parallel to the ground, and your arms in front, also parallel to the ground. In Virabhadrasana Trini Prashvantare.
वाशिष्ठम् अथ कौन्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुकुटमेव च अष्टावक्रम् अथ उत्तानमयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
And now nicely swing your foot forward and keep it parallel to the ground at the front. The hands all the way downwards alongside the body and make it as parallel to the ground as possible. Little higher. Yes, wonderful. Perform the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath, keeping the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and gaze at the tip of your nose. Visualize Swamiji, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, filling your inner space with boundless consciousness. In Dakshina Padasana Parshvantare.
जमने पग पूर्वभनि जमेन आपनुं मा होय तिबनी दाबो करी दाबे पग उभा रहेवं ते वाम पादासना कहे वायचे.
And now bring your foot onto the opposite leg, standing tall on one leg, bringing your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of the heart center, in Matantara Vrikshasana Parshvantare.
अर्ध वृक्षासन ए आसनने अवान्तर भेदचे बमने पग धिमचनति वाली मातुम भूमिथि ते कावी.
And place your foot on the opposite thigh. Come bending into a seated position as if sitting on an invisible chair. And then reach your little fingers all the way to the ground, touching the mat. In Kamasana, Parshvantare.
नितम्बे च पादगोष्ठी हस्ताभ्याम् अङ्गुलीयकम् अथ कामासनं रक्षेत् कामासङ्गेन हेतुना.
And in the next asana, remain with the foot on the opposite thigh and come in a seated position, like sitting on an invisible chair again, with one hand on the ankle and one hand on the knee. In Vimanasana, Parshvantare.
एकं पादं भूमौ निधाय नितम्बं जानु प्रेदेश आनीय द्वितीयं पादं जानूनि निधाय तिष्ठेत् विमानासनं भवति.
And place your foot on the opposite thigh, inner thigh, with the knee all the way to the side and the hands in Anjani Mudra in front of the heart. In Ardha Padasana, Parshvantare.
उभा रहीने दाबा पगने फना जमना पगना दिमचना na.
And take your foot in your hands and stretch all the way up towards the ceiling. If you can, bring your legs, so to say, in a split in the air, or reach wherever high you can. Adjust it to the capacity of your body and take some support of the wall or a friend if you need to. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within in Shambhavi Mudra, and visualize Swamiji, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, radiating cosmic consciousness in Uttita Trivikramasana.
Uttana kurma pitham cha simham garudam eva cha vatayanam gomukham cha bharadhwajam trivikramam.
And the next one is Natarajasana, where we stretch the leg all the way backwards and up. And if you can, reach it with both your hands over your head, visualizing the dancing form of Lord Shiva in Natarajasana 2.
Shalabhasana bhedhascha nataberunda namake gandhabherunda sahite shirsha dandasanam tatha.
And bring both feet onto the mat again, hips width apart, and your hands in front of your groin. Perform here the Ujjaya Kumbhaka. Make the sound of the ocean with your breath. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha. Gaze at the tip of the nose. Continue internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize Swamiji, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, merging with your awareness. See his guidance illuminating every thought and action, embodying inner stillness, clarity, and the transformative power of enlightened presence. Gaze at the tip of your nose in Kaupinasana.
Krishna Sahita Lingam Urumadhye Gadham Dritva Charana Grabhyam Isthathavyam Kopinasanam Bhavati.
And for the next posture, come laying down on the back. And place your feet towards the ceiling, holding them with your hands. Take your big toes in the Prana Mudra, the index and middle finger around your toes, closing it with your hand. And inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose again in the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha, gaze straight, and visualize each of your chakras as a bright white light, spinning and radiant, purifying and energizing your entire being. Chakrasana 2.
Behathani Angalyoti Pe Paganam Angali Pakarine Savumte Chakrasana Kehe Vayache A Asananum Anya Nama Vartulasana hana che.
And let go of your toes. Bring your feet flat on the mat, your knees up, your hands next to the hips. Inhale deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably and release through the nose again. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and gaze straight. Visualize Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, extending you gently yet powerfully, helping your body to move beyond all perceived limitations. Tanasana.
Shavavadbhomo tishtet shavasanam bhavati padadvayam vitanotanasanam bhavati.
And a slight variation of this asana is coming onto your elbows and bringing your shoulders and head off the mat, leaning on your elbows. Keep the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. The Shambhavu Mudra. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and then release through the nose in Sahaja Kumbhaka. Keep the pelvic floor contracted, gaze straight, keep internally chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And visualize yourself as a mountain with three majestic peaks, standing firm and enduring through time. Trikutasana.
Uttana shayanam padatalabhyam bhumim dhritva kurparo avano nidhaya prishtha pradesham urdvam unnamayet trikutam bhavati.
And bring your hands on your mat with the fingers pointing towards your feet. And then bring the hips up and the head parallel to the body, parallel to the ground. Inhale deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, and release through the nose again while keeping the pelvic floor contracted and the gaze straight. And visualize each limb as a pillar of a Hindu temple in Chatus Pada Pitam.
Purvattanam chatushpadapitham vajrasanam tatha chakorakroncha shalabha bhujangan api vrischikam.
And come sitting down on the mat again. Bring your feet into Padmasana, the feet on the opposite thighs. Take your big toes in Prana Mudra, the index finger and middle finger around your toes, closing it with your thumb. And come laying down all the way backwards on your back. Perform the Kevala Kumbhaka. Allow the breath to pass naturally, absorb without forcing, and maintain relaxed awareness. Let normal breathing resume. Keep the pelvic floor contracted in the Mula Bandha and gaze upward. Visualize a lotus arching upward, petals opening strong and resilient in Vakra Padmasana.
Archita kamalasana pada prantayoho grahanam kurvita prishthabhyam ava kurvita shirolalate prati niyachet.
And remain in this same position with the fingers around your toe, your feet in Padmasana, laying down on your back. Allow the breath to pass naturally. Keep the pelvic floor contracted and gaze at the tip of the nose. Visualize yourself as a lotus flower that has fully blossomed and risen above the muddy waters, symbolizing liberation from worldly attachments and limitations. Mukta Padmasana.
Mukta padmasanam kritva uttanam shayanam charet kurpa rabhyam shiro veshtya matsyasana nantu rogarita.
And now let go of your toes and extend your legs all the way. We have come to the 100th asana of the today's sequence. Laying down on your back, stretch your arms alongside the body, the palms facing upwards. Keep your pelvic floor contracted. Visualize your soul rising free from the limitations of the corpse body, guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Sri Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. See consciousness expanding beyond physical confines, moving through infinite space with clarity and liberation. Contemplate immortality, fearlessness, and the eternal presence of the divine guidance within and around you. Mrityasanam.
Uttanam Shavavadbhomo Shayanam tu Shavasanam Shavasanam Shramaharam Chitta Vishranti Karanam.
And slowly move your toes and your fingers again. Rotate the wrist and ankles. And take then one by one your knees up to your chest. Hug your arms around your knees. And roll over the spine from side to side, massaging the body. And coming finally up to a seated position again. Giving yourself a round of applause for finishing another 100 asanas of the Nithyananda Yoga sequence. We're almost halfway of the 1008 asanas that we do over the course of 10 days, each day 100 asanas. So you're very much invited to join again tomorrow, and to also invite your colleagues, your friends, your family members to join with us online. Also, please leave your comments if you have any questions or any things you want to share about your experience during the Nithyananda Yoga class. We love to see that in the comments and get in touch with you. And I also would like to invite you to join later today for the satsang, where Swamiji is giving darshan and powerful cognitions and initiations. So don't miss your daily bliss dose. And if you want 30 days of bliss dose, then you should come to the Paramashiva Sena program, the UAN Summit, which is being held in Guinea-Bissau and in India as well. You can join there for 30 days, being in the space of Swamiji. That is guaranteed a deep transformational journey. So if you want to change something in your life, if you want to get to know yourself better, get to know about your purpose in life, how you can contribute to this world, then you are very much invited to join for this program. So with that, let us end today's class, placing the hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of the heart, the eyes gently closed. Take a deep breath. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Parukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. And in deep gratitude to Swamiji for giving us the beautiful gift of Nithyananda Yoga, let's bow down to the Atmamurti. And take that gratitude along in your day. Have a wonderful day and love to see you tomorrow in next Nithyananda Yoga. Nithyanandam.